to Saturday's late game, which took us to Carrow Road. Norwich City looking to climb off the foot of the table. Manchester United hoping to go joint fourth with West Ham. And yes, you guessed it. It was a penalty that separated these two sides. Owen, talk us through how this one came about.
Well, it's a decent ball in from ᴍᴏᴞᴇ. Ronaldo's at the back post with Max Aarons, and there's a huge size advantage there. Max Aarons knows it, tries to stop Ronaldo jumping, puts his arms on him. Not once, but twice, pulls him down. I think it's a clear penalty, easy decision. Just can't put your hands on somebody like that and drag him back. I think everybody saw it. Dean Smith said it was soft. I don't think it was. And this is how you take a penalty. Make your mind up and smash it in.
Yeah, it's a brilliant penalty from Ronaldo. Yes, we heard Dean Smith not being too happy about it being given. Big club bias, I think, was maybe the quote, but it wasn't. I think it's a clear penalty. Max Aarons just gets panicked a little bit, I think is the best way to explain it. The ball's over the top of Ronaldo, it's gone, and that's when he drags him down to the floor. I think he'll be disappointed when he sees it back. Yeah. And Ronaldo, as we see, the famous celebration. I think some of the Norwich fans joined in with that as well.
I think they probably did. So, of course, Manchester United took all 3 points, but that really doesn't tell the full story. How would you describe what you saw from Manchester United today in terms of their performance?
They were bang average, is pretty much the best way to describe it. David De Gea was the best player. But they kept a clean sheet against Palace. I think that was the goal for Ralf coming in. He knew with the players that they had at the top of the pitch, they'd win games. And that clean sheet was the one. So they did it against Palace, they did it today, but it was only thankful to David De Gea, who made countless saves. I think he made 5 saves in the game.
He did.
And a credit to him. He's been United's best player with Cristiano Ronaldo this season. So they needed him to win the game. But Norwich deserved a point from the game, at least.
So Owen described it as an average performance from Manchester United. What was missing?
Everything we thought Ralf Rangnick would bring. Intensity in Manchester United players going forward. It was a clean sheet. I think it wasn't a comfortable clean sheet. I think
it wasn't a comfortable watch either, was it really?
No, Norwich. I think from a Norwich point of view, Dean Smith will be happy if his team keep those performance levels up. That they will be looking to stay in the Premier League, and I think that could be achievable if they keep that up. But Manchester United, yes, seem to be a little bit lost going forward, no fluidity. Intensity was a little bit back to the Ollie times, I think. 1-0 tells a very, very different picture to what the game was.
Lost because they're getting used to a new system, a new way of playing, different intensity levels. Is it that they're having to find their feet with this new way?
Well, let's give them credit. Keeping clean sheets is an important thing in the Premier League. Every great team is built on a good defence, and I think in David De Gea they have one of the best goalies. But attacking-wise, it wasn't fluid at all.
So who do you want to see more from?
In the 2 games, United's best player in the last 2 years has been Bruno Fernandes. In the 2 games against Palace and today, he's barely had a kick. He found it really hard to get into the game. Every game, normally, he creates 4 or 5 chances for people, whether for himself or for his teammates. I think with the way that they're playing quite narrow, him and Marcus Rashford, they struggle to really kind of get into the game. So I think that's going to take some adjustment. I think a lot of the focus is on the fullbacks, playing really high and wide and getting crosses in for Ronaldo. And now those players, Jadon Sancho, another one, they got to work in these little half spaces on the half turn. It's a different skill set. And I think that is going to take some timing. They need to be able to get the ball to their feet quickly so they can get the head up and they can get it in the box. I think today it was hard for them to do that. And also they need to, be a bit more aggressive in terms of running. Running behind, Glenn mentioned it in the game. Make forward runs, Forward runs, 4 passes, opens it up today. Today they were just a bit flat, is the best way to describe it.
I guess the positive is that when you look at their run of fixtures, it's pretty favourable on paper, isn't it? They've got some games that look like they are winnable.
Yeah, huge opportunity for Ralf Rangnick to get his philosophy over to the players against not top quality opposition. I don't think they play. I think they play actually one of the top 4 teams from now until March, which is it's a long period of time, and they should. I mean, we look at the fixtures here: Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley, Wolves, Aston Villa, all very, very winnable games for Manchester United, and they will expect with those forward players, if they can just get that balance right, to pick a lot of points up in that period.
Yeah, if they play like they did today, they might not be so fortunate. But it is, if you were to pick a run of fixtures, no disrespect to those teams, you would probably pick that run. As for Norwich, they have improved under the new manager, haven't they? And they're playing with more confidence. And they were quite unlucky to not walk away with something today.
I thought they played great today. they gave as good as they got. They didn't just sit back and defend. They didn't have pointless possession. They really tried to have a go. Pukki gets it in a good area, and it's a nice save from David De Gea, but they deserve something from the game. At least a point. They really tried to create, and if it wasn't for David De Gea making countless saves, they definitely would have got something from the game. I think the only worry is they've played a lot better under Dean Smith, but they're lacking that punch at the top of the pitch, a goal scorer. That's what they need, and they need it really quick, because if they get it, I think I could see them staying up, which beginning of the season you would have said would have been unthinkable.
Yeah, I think everybody wrote them off at the beginning of the season based on their first few games. But now, if he was to sign a goal scorer in January, it gives them a lot more of a chance, does it not, Glenn?
Yeah, massive. I think he's got a goal scorer for that end of the Premier League. I think Pukki is a good and capable goal scorer. It's just creating those opportunities for him. But listen, Norwich under ᴏᴏ, I think it was the performances that made everyone's opinion that they were down. The performance under Dean Smith have been much better, and they've given themselves a chance of staying in the Premier League, whereas previous to Dean Smith, I mean, I don't think anyone gave them a chance. But they'll be disappointed tonight not to come away with at least a point from that game with Manchester United. Yeah, and of course you can see Burnley and Newcastle in that bottom three, in the relegation zone with them. It feels like, we talk about the title race and that going down to the wire, the same could be said of the relegation picture. I mean, well, look at Norwich's goal difference. I mean, that's a point as well. So, for some reason, you look at Burnley down there and you think they won't be in it towards the end of the season. They always seem to be floating around at this point, and then the experience they have, they get out of it. Norwich are playing significantly better, but they need to find a way to get some points on the board, because their performances deserve something. Talking of points on... Maybach music. Can anybody out there